So I was wanting to talk about anxiety a little bit, as it is very prominent in our culture. You know, we live in a culture that breeds it almost, you know, with the pace of things, this obsession with busyness and doing, the media that's always portraying, you know, a certain angle on things, because you know, there's something about drama that does excite us, and fear that it has this exciting element to it. So the media has often got this fear perspective on it, and the busyness, and just our lifestyles these days, that anxiety it's very common. You know, and some of us it's just an occasional, we get stressed out or paranoid or overthink things, but for some of us it's like something we experience every day, and something that actually takes over our life, or even some people who get panic attacks. You know, it's a very real experience, and it's something we need to learn to be able to live with, to manage, to navigate, because it is almost inevitable. And this is something really we ought to be taught in schools. However, we're not, so here we are teaching ourselves. Yeah, I mean, the basic thing with anxiety is it's activating the fight or flight response, which, you know, it puts us in survival mode, it puts us extra alert, and it creates tension within the body and agitation. So it's learning to activate the other part of the nervous system, the one responsible for resting and digesting, is the rest and digest response. It helps to soothe and calm and nurture and nourish and take care of the body. So a great technique that I always recommend is deep belly breaths. You know, for a lot of people, if we are anxious people, we might be breathing more into the chest, and there might be more shallow breaths. Whereas if we can take really deep breaths that are coming into the belly and out of the belly, as opposed to the chest, eventually they'll reach the chest, but it's beginning at the belly. Slow, long, deep breaths. You can even add a count to them, you know, go breathing in 2, 3, 4, breathing out 2, 3, 4, breathing in 2, 3, 4, breathing out 2, 3, 4. And breathe with that count. It's something you can count inside your head. You don't have to count out loud. But that in itself is really helpful. And if you can extend it for even longer, great. Or if you want to do it shorter, if that's a bit too much for you, perfect. That's something if we practice also in happy moments, we'll have much easier access to it in the more stressful moments. But also it is something that in any stressful situation you can use, or even just without counting, really taking deep belly breaths is one useful thing. Another thing, placing a hand on the heart and the belly. We have these centers of nerves in these two areas, and just that in itself can be super soothing. And then the third option I would like to propose to you is an option of, it's a mindfulness practice of really going in and feeling what's going on. So a lot of the time, you know, our pain and our suffering is because we're fighting and rejecting what's happening. We're saying we shouldn't be feeling this, there's something wrong with us. So if instead, first of all, we recognize that we're feeling a little bit anxious, and then we go in and allow and say, it's okay, I can feel this is something that needs to be expressed, and really allow yourself to feel it, to express it. If there's something you need to do to express it, just holding this safe, loving space, being like, it's okay to feel like this is what's going on. And then going in and finding where in the body you can feel it. For many people, for myself anyway, I feel it as a tightness in the chest. Some people it's the throat or underneath the ribs, the belly. Just going in and feeling where do you feel this in the body, and just exploring what it is. So maybe it's a tightness, maybe it's cold, maybe it's a squeezing. Just even labeling in your mind what this quality of sensation is in that area. And you could even put a hand on that area and send some loving kindness, some tenderness back into that area to yourself. And then asking, you know, what is this experience? What is this asking of me? What do I need? What does this anxiety, or you don't have to label it, but what is this emotion, this feeling asking for? And just asking yourself that. You know, for many of us, often it will be just a little loving kindness, a little tenderness, a little care. and approaching it as if it was someone you, like a really good friend or a loved one you really care about, and asking what does this person need right now, and doing that. So it might be slowing down, might just be telling yourself you love yourself, giving yourself a hug, a squeeze, a little caress, or a rub around the area where you feel the tension. Maybe it's you need to slow down, just whatever it is, and then doing whatever it is. We're giving yourself space for that. If you haven't practiced this before, it can be useful to practice this in like a safe setting where you're not under any pressure or stress. So you've been doing this practice at home, and finding a part of your life where you experience anxiety that's not too traumatic when you're doing this at home, because it's easy. It can be more difficult when it's a very strong traumatic experience, but somewhere where you experience kind of a mild level of anxiety, and doing this practice so that it's a resource that you'll then more easily have access to in your daily life. Yeah, those are the three main things I wanted to suggest to you, because there's something that have helped me a lot, have helped many others a lot, and they're really simple, basic things. And then the obvious ones of really learning to honor our needs and recognizing situations, people, places that promote anxiety within us, and saying no to those now, because we've got to take care of ourselves. Nobody else will do it for you. So hoping that was helpful. Sending so much love from my heart to yours, and feel free to get in touch if you need any extra support or any extra guidance with these practices.